We talked about Robinhood yesterday with their note from the CEO. They laid off 23% of their workforce, which is pretty startling, about 700 plus people. But now they're stepping back and clapping back at the market saying, no, we are not going to be bought out by anybody. We actually have a lot of dough to go make some M&A purchases ourselves. Vlad Tenev, the CEO of Robinhood itself, said that we can, let me read this quote actually. I love us as a standalone company. Tev noted that Robinhood has about $6 billion in cash that could be used for acquisitions, and the company sees opportunities in the current environment to make acquisitions. In April, Robinhood said it was buying UK crypto platform Ziglu. $6 billion is a lot of money. It's a lot of money to go out there. Their market cap is actually around $9 billion. So if you look at it, like they're in a very healthy position, which makes me wonder about the layoffs yesterday that they said they can go make an M&A purchase after doing these layoffs. But, you know, they're going to do what they're going to do. Jen, I'll throw it to you.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. It feels almost insensitive to say like, hey, we have $6 billion to do whatever we want with after laying off 23% of the labor force. I understand there are different buckets of money that are for different business functions, but I can only imagine employees who didn't get laid off sitting there and like Joe and Mary from their team no longer have a job and they're hearing this communications from their CEO in public saying, we got all this money, we're not worried about anyone coming and taking over the company. Feels insensitive, and it makes me question and wonder about the internal communications that are happening at Robinhood. But David, I think I saw your hand go up.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would just say it's not Robinhood that's out of order. The whole damn system is out of order. Like the reason you cut jobs at this moment is because you're not getting organic growth, and you're not going to for a while. I mean, I wouldn't read this as any particular problem with Robinhood. They're deciding that they're not going to be able to grow on their own terms for a little while, so they're going out and doing acquisitions to grow their customer base based on work that other people have already done because they do have cash. So, I mean, obviously it's not great, and it would have been better if they had had more runway to, I mean, you essentially hire people for where you want to be 6 months from now. And so, you know, they similar to Coinbase, they got out over their skis in terms of their growth trajectory. And so, you know, this makes sense operationally, even if it feels really bad for the people who got cut or had friends get cut. But my only comment would just be,
David, the messaging.
Well, the messaging is what it is, but even there, though, I will continue to say that like the messaging is for stockholders and for Wall Street. It's not for customers or honestly even employees. They're trying to look good for the stock market more than anything, and that's their goal here. Zach, you're nodding along.
Not along. I mean, you know, we got Vlad. We got an emerging tech CEO that can either be lionized or villainized, and you know, the tech press loves doing that. But I think to the broader point about messaging, this does not look good. You just laid off a lot of people, and you're like, hey, no, we're good. We can acquire. We're healthy. I love us as a standalone company. We just axed the core of the company, but I still love us. The 3/4 that are left love us as a standalone company. We got plenty of money. That does sound not great. But Will, you probably have something smarter to say, so I'm tossing it down to you.
Maybe. No, I just like what David said, so I'm going to riff on it a little bit more. I think when you look at it from a larger perspective, it is about Wall Street, right? You had to lay off these employees, but to Wall Street, that might even be a good signal that you're willing to make those tough conversations happen and willing to lay off those folks just to make your company more efficient. And then on top of that, defending yourself and being like, hey, no, we're not open to be acquired. We are a functioning business. We're going to keep moving forward. We're going to do what we can in this macro environment and deal with the stresses we have. That's a good signal to Wall Street. It's a good signal to anyone who wants to go buy that stock out there, whether retail or institutional, and be like, this company has strong leadership. They're willing to make the tough choices and plow ahead. If I was a former employee at Robinhood, yeah, I'd be pretty pissed. But that's just the way that capitalism works in a lot of senses. So that's how it is.